All right, welcome to Something Like Ballers. We're back. It's been a while. Uh, we didn't want to we wanted to wait till everything calmed down. Free agency. It's been a long time since we recorded. This is your boy Derek. I got Ra here on the phone. Yeah. So let's get into things because we got a lot to talk about. Because with free agency and everything, a lot has happened. But let's start with the more recent stuff. Westbrook got traded to Houston for CP3 and some draft picks. What do you think about the trade, Ra?
I mean, it almost seemed like a lose-lose because I guess Houston won the trade, I suppose, because it's weird because throughout this whole thing, OKC has stacked up on a lot of draft picks, which is, good, more chances.
Yeah.
At landing potential talent, you can flip the picks for, potential star players, stuff like that. But as far as specifically the Houston OKC trade within itself, like, moving CP3, nobody thought they was going to be able to do it. And they ended up doing it, so kudos to them. Kudos to Houston on that, congrats. As far as OKC, they squandered a lot of talent over the years. Sam Presti's been a good, good at drafting talent or finding talent in the draft, so let's see if he can do something with his capital, but I'm not as low on the Russ Harden pairing as other people are. I think they'll be fine. Like, I feel like how are they going to fit together is one of the most overrated statements when it comes to, like, stars pairing up.
Yeah.
I feel like I see that all the time, like, with almost every pairing. Like, it's Kyrie and LeBron. Oh, they're both dominant, like, ball dominant. How's that going to work? Durant going to Golden State. Oh, there's only one ball. How are they all going to shoot the ball? Like, these are the top of the top guys in the world. All right, they get paid millions of dollars. They play together all the time. They have played together. Whether it be over the summer, or throughout the, a lot of them played together in high school. I think I read something where Russ and Harden have known each other for, like, even prior to the NBA.
Yeah.
and of course it goes back to OKC. You know, they play together on on the court at the same time, and then one coming off of the other. So, and Westbrook has played with ball dominant players before. I mean, Paul George, he can play off ball, but he likes to have the ball in his hand. Same thing with Kevin Durant. So these are not all new concepts. And even the first year in Houston when CP3 and Harden were together, Harden didn't dominate the ball as much as he did this year. So both of these players know how to play with and without the ball. They can adjust. The big thing, if anything, is D'Antoni and how he can adjust his schemes and play calling and things like that. But as far as Russ and Harden, meshing, they're good friends. I don't think there'll be any problems. So I guess it's a win-win. OKC might have to die with that CP3 contract though, because I really doubt they're going to buy him out.
Oh hell
that
no!
Contract is
and
too crazy to buy out.
I heard people talking about maybe they could stretch that contract, but that's even worse for them to stretch that contract.
Yeah.
You be paying him how much over a course of 7 years or something. For me, I understand where everybody was coming from because I was even joking at work with people they gonna be taking 90% of the shots Harden and Westbrook. I think it's because they're the top of the top in usage in the league, and how they're using how their usage percentage at that. But from the standpoint with the points that you made, they played together and now they're coming back together. They're more mature. I think it was clear that Westbrook wanted to go to Houston. I think once he saw Paul George left, he knew that his time in OKC was up. But it's been 11 years. He knew there was nothing.
I mean, I heard that they also throughout that whole Paul George thing, even though it was short-lived, that they had shopped Westbrook for a quick second. They tried to package him to Toronto. So yeah, he definitely.
I heard that too. Yeah. Yeah, and I saw that report. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting how they use. I think it is a win-win because. Well,
I don't feel like it's a huge win-win. I think it's just
yeah.
Nobody really.
OKC wanted to get off that luxuries tax, even though they took back CP3's contract. I mean, it's clear that they're in a tank. They're trying to tank. I think it's clear that they're going a different route. That they're over it and they want to rebuild. It's a rebuilding time for them. But I think what it is with Westbrook going, him and Harden playing together. I think they're gonna have fun. I think they're gonna be a fun team. I don't see this team. I really don't see them going deep. I think the West just got so much better. I don't see them.
The West is.
And we'll talk about that, of course. But I don't think this is a team that's gonna go deep. I think Westbrook is definitely better at this point than Chris Paul. So I think and I think Harden definitely wanted Chris Paul out of there. He was fed up with Chris Paul, and I think a lot of people are fed up with just Chris Paul. And he did, and I hear this from a lot of things. People don't seem to like to play with him. It's a sort of nagging thing, and and he really gets on you in a sort of way Jimmy Butler does. But people just don't seem to like to play with him. On CP3's end, I don't know how OKC is going to get out of this. I've been hearing rumors about him going to Miami to play with Jimmy Butler, but Miami doesn't. They don't want to trade. They don't want to offer up Tyler Hero, who they drafted. And I think
Miami said they want they picks back from OKC if they do.
Yeah, they want their picks back.
And I'm one of those people who said, listen, just swallow the contract because I ain't about to give you picks back to take a player that you want.
Yeah.
I get it. The contract is egregious, but again, you want him.
Exactly.
So I'm not about to give you picks because you want him.
Yeah. I think what it is to well, in CP3's case, I think we were just gonna have to wait and see till like December 15th, and then like when all as the season goes on into the second half of the season, when injuries come up, teams maybe become a little desperate, feel that they need that player for a playoff push. But I still like his contract is just ridiculous at his age. Like Houston, even offering that contract was a mistake. They're lucky they got out of this. To be honest, they're extremely lucky they got out of this, and that Westbrook wanted to come there. I feel like OKC really did them a favor, but in the end, OKC did get back some picks. But then again, in those picks are not going to be high picks from Houston anyway. So, because Houston's going to be a decent enough team for those picks, they're probably going to be lower picks. But I think OKC just really did it. I feel like it was a favor to Russ. It really was a favor. They loved Westbrook, and I really feel like they did him a favor and sent him back to Houston to go play with Harden. Yeah. I think that's gonna be interesting. I mean, on that note, and just switching up now, this free agency has been crazy, and this Raw is gonna be the era of the duo. So we're talking about these super teams. Now it's these two people.
Almost every team seems like they got like two guys.
Two guys. Where you want to start? You want to start west, east? Where you want to start?
We can start west.
All right, let's start west. Well, let's start with the biggest news. And I was in Miami when this happened. And I just looked at my phone. I was like, I can't believe what's going on. Kawhi and Paul George are pairing up to play in it with the Clippers.
Oh yeah, that happened when like mad people was sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that surprised me. And all the talks was that Kawhi did not want to go. He wanted to go to Clippers, but he was not going there by himself. I heard he was reaching out to KD. I heard he even reached out to Kyrie to try and come to the Clippers. And I think it was something the Clippers had to do, that they had to get somebody, and they got why not?
They gave up a lot to get Paul George, but
yeah, they did, but
worth it.
It's worth it.
Basically, he gave up all those picks.
Yeah.
And assets.
And
he traded them for Paul George and Kawhi.
Yeah, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Danilo Gallinari.
That's my boy. Shai's gonna ball out in OKC.
Yeah.
I said it here first.
Yeah. And gave that up to get Paul George, but that team defensively next year, the Clippers, you got Kawhi, you got Paul George, you got Pat Beverly, you got Montrezl Harrell,
I have this as probably the best team in the league right now.
They're definitely up. They're definitely for sure up there. Like, I mean, come on, Kawhi didn't have any other All-Stars on that Toronto team, and he led that Toronto team.
Oh, Lowry made the All-Star team.
All right, whatever. Kyle, you know how I feel about Kyle Lowry. I'll give him his credit.
You know how I feel about him. He made the All-Star team, so
I'll give him his credit because he balled out in the finals, so I'll give him his credit. But Kyle Lowry or Paul George, come on. Come on.
No, definitely. Okay, so there's a difference between All-Star and then stars and superstars.
Exactly. That's you know what I'm talking about. Like, Paul George is on a different level, and you give that to Kawhi, and their team didn't get decimated. I think losing Shai is he was a really good asset, but like their team didn't get decimated. So like you're kind of
doing. They're still generally deep. Like
deep,
Jerome Robinson still has a chance if they decide to bring him back. I know he kind of struggled in the summer league, I think.
Yeah.
But he still has a chance to be a solid prospect. Landry Shamet's still there. He can shoot.
Yeah.
Lou Will still coming off the bench. So is Montrezl Harrell.
Exactly.
Zubac, still there with potential.
Yeah.
They got Maurice Harkless. They brought JaMychal Green back. But just outside of Paul George and Kawhi, they have more or less the same team they had last year. That pushed Golden State to 6 games.
That's exactly, with a healthy Kevin Durant. So Yeah, no, that I'm excited to see how that team is gonna play together next year. And both Kawhi and Paul get to go back to their hometowns in LA. Um, and let's all right, and the same breath, let's talk about the other LA team, the Lakers, because it really is gonna be a battle for LA. So now you have Anthony Davis, who is now he's gonna be paired with LeBron. The Lakers, I think some of their free agent signings to highlight, they got Danny Green, they got DeMarcus
That was
Cousins,
a good pickup.
Avery Bradley.
DeMarcus was almost like a have-to pickup.
I think DeMarcus is right now, like, for him, like, we just have to wait and see, like, how he actually is going to perform. Like, he could be, like, a low-key good pickup, depending on how he's going to perform and if he can stay healthy. I think that's what it's going to depend.
Yeah, they have a solid. Like, the Lakers have a good team.
Yeah, they have a much better solid roster than they had last year.
I think a lot of people is calling like the roster around like AD and LeBron trash, and I get it. I get why people say it, but you know,
that's it. Yeah.
When you look more closely at it, it isn't like the Clippers roster, but it's still a solid roster. Like,
yeah.
much as people make fun of Jared Dudley, that solid veteran, he can hit threes. Caldwell Pope, he can hit threes. So can Quinn Cook.
They got Avery Bradley. They got Avery Bradley.
Avery Bradley. I mean, it depends.
Not hitting threes, but in terms of defense, at least. In terms of defense, at least.
Let's hope he can still, provide defense. But yeah, the Avery Bradley and Rondo back together again.
Yeah.
Did I already say Danny Green?
You said Danny Green.
Like, there's some good veterans on the team. And the team low-key has some championship experience. Bron, Rondo, Danny Green, JaVale McGee, Quinn Cook,
yeah.
So there's some championship experience on it. There's some players who have played together, DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
So there's some continuity on the team.
Yeah, for sure. They have reports, in which LeBron's been doing this his career anyway, that he's going to be playing at the point guard position. What do you think their starting lineup is going to look like?
I mean, if LeBron plays at the point, it would be a big lineup if LeBron's at the point guard position, but then there'll probably be Cousins, Anthony Davis,
Kuzma.
So probably Danny Green at the 3.
And then Kuzma. I think Kuzma's going to start.
I don't think they'll have all of them starting.
Really?
Because you still want points off the bench.
I mean, who would you start? So who would you start in place of Kuzma? So if you have LeBron, Danny Green, Cousins, Anthony Davis, who's that other starter then?
You can easily put Avery Bradley at the shooting guard position. Have Danny Green guard like the small forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I just have a feeling that they're going to be obligated and they're just going to start Cousins. I just feel like that's going to happen. Not Cousins. Kuzma. Not Cousins. I mean Kuzma. I'm talking about Kuzma. My bad.
Kuzma.
Yeah.
I get it. I get why you would say that. It probably makes sense as far as trying to get the best optimal starting lineup. But again, when you look to the bench, there's not a lot of players who can really create for themselves. I mean, I guess that's where Rondo was coming off the bench, kind of help create for everyone else. But you still would like someone who can get their own shot, and Kuzma's probably your best bet at that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not crazy heavy about their bench. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. They still have KCP, Rondo, McGee. They still have certain people on their bench that I think can still get it done somewhat. All right. Let's see. Let's stay in the West. What are the West teams made some moves that we should talk about? I'm trying to think. Who else made some moves? Well, Utah.
Yeah,
Well,
Utah had a good offseason.
they had a good offseason. They had a pretty decent offseason. They got
The
Boyan.
Bogdanovic
That was a good pickup.
Yeah, that was a good pickup.
That was a good pickup for them. Yeah, yeah. I think they definitely they got way better. Obviously, they got Mike Conley. They signed him.
I like a lot of people. Like I do agree they got better, but I think people are overrating what that team is.
I feel at best that maybe they get to the second round and that's it for them. Like I don't.
I think people are putting too much stock into Donovan. I mean, maybe Donovan Mitchell finally take that big step, but
He had a little sophomore
he
slump.
for me yet.
He had a sophomore slump. I think. I think playing. I think all the pressure isn't on him to score anymore, and now you have Mike Conley there, to help him.
And again, Boyan, who, and listen, in Victor Oladipo's absence, that boy really picked it up.
Yeah.
He really picked up his scoring load.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just
did they
again, Utah made good moves.
Yeah.
But I'm just.
Did they bring back Derek Favors? They didn't bring him back, right?
No, Derek Favors is in New Orleans now.
Oh yes, he is in New Orleans. All right, we'll get to that. We'll get to New Orleans in a second. Portland got Hassan Whiteside.
Waste.
Honestly,
I think I'd rather if they had got him back. I'd rather they had keep Enes Kanter too.
Yeah.
Because then you can really beat up on people in the paint.
Yeah.
I think this if they still had Yusuf Nurkic.
Well, he's gonna come back.
Yeah, no, I know he's coming back.
Yeah.
But if they had him in the playoffs, I feel like
it
would have made their little matchup with Golden State a lot better.
Yeah. Well, I think for Whiteside, it's good that he just got out of Miami. It's a different territory for him.
Listen, he needs to realize it's over. Okay.
Yo, he's too big of a guy, too good of a shot blocker.
He still hasn't developed a consistent mid-range jumper. He still hasn't developed.
I don't want him shooting.
Go-to post moves.
Oh, okay. That's why I don't want him shooting mid-range. Like post move. He's too big for that. He's too big for that.
I'm all for Shaq, just like Shaq was saying, kill him in the post.
Yeah.
But you gotta have more to your arsenal. You gotta have more. So, I'm not saying once he gets a jumper, just stay out there and shoot. But you gotta be able to stretch the floor.
I mean, okay. I could.
Dame and CJ trying to get in the paint.
You could take that point, but I could tell you, Rudy Gobert does not stretch the paint, and how good of a big is Rudy Gobert?
And how well does Donovan Mitchell shoot?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, comparing him, he doesn't have to. He doesn't. I know it's good today. You want your big guys to be stretch guys. Yeah, that's big, but I think with Hassan Whiteside, it's just consistency, and him being in Miami just was not helping him out. He wasn't getting the playing time. He frustrated all the damn time. I'm just hoping that this change, and actually being on now, which is a playoff team, contender, I guess. I mean, they got to the Western Conference Finals this year. I don't think that's happening this year, but hopefully it's a change of scenery for him.
Who you end up seeing. It depends on how things stack up.
Yeah, I just hope
they can easily get the half, for whatever reason, things could just stack up where they get the half of the Western playoffs, where the Clippers are on the other side, the Lakers are on the other side, the Nuggets are on the other side.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's very unlikely that basically all the tough teams be on one side, but
yeah,
or rather tougher, because West in general is tough.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the Pelicans. I think one of the first signings out of free agency that I saw, I'm pretty sure was JJ Redick going to the Pelicans. That shit happened so quickly. I was kind of surprised because I thought that maybe he would, try to go. I feel like the contract he got, like anybody could have gave to him, and like a contender would have been looking for him. But the way how David Griffin has built this Pelicans team, I think he has to be applauded for everything. Like I see nothing. I think they're a deep team. They're young, but they're going to be a deep team, and they're going to be a team I think to watch. Like they have a potential to actually be maybe like the 8th seed and actually make the playoffs this year. Like it's hard, it's tough out in the West, but the people that they have, Redick, the rookies that they have with Zion, Jackson. I like this kid Jackson Hayes, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and then again like you. Yeah, and then again, like you said, yeah, they got Derek Favors, you got Josh Hart, Lonzo, and Brandon Ingram. Like, I think this team is just, and you still got Drew Holiday. I got Drew Holiday. Like this team is just like, they look much better than what was happening with them before, and
oh, for sure.
They look way better, and they look promising. I'll say that they look way promising.
I'm not just gonna. I guess they'll fight for a potential 8th seed, 7th seed.
I think I think that's possible.
But I ultimately, well, we'll see.
You know, because OKC
be one of the most interesting teams to watch.
Yeah, because think about who made
all the talent they have. You know, Zion and the highlight reel he's supposed to be. Jackson Hayes too. So yeah, like it's
you
a very deep roster.
You saw that done by Jackson Hayes?
Young. Oh yeah. Oh God.
That shit was crazy, man.
Yeah, that was. So yeah, this whole team, yeah. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with Drew Holiday, because I think this is the final year of his contract. So
yeah.
I'm very curious to see what will happen with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Lonzo seems like he's already engaged and ready to kind of prove Lakers made a mistake. And as good, offensively as or exciting offensively as this team is supposed to be, they got a lot of solid defenders on the team as well. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a team. They may not make it the first year because of inexperience, but this is definitely a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, for the future. All right, let's stay out west. I think this is the last team maybe we would talk about. Golden State. So they re-signed Kevon Looney. They got Alec Burks. And then they had that big trade, obviously, for D'Lo, and they also got Willie Cauley-Stein.
And I think that's an underrated pickup.
I think so too.
To look at him.
I think so too. A lot of people, I don't know. A lot of people are feeling like, they're like the Warriors are not gonna make the playoffs this year. And I'm like, yeah, y'all gotta slow it down. Like, this is a team that, even though they might not have Clay, I think the system that they run and just the experience that they have on that team, this is not a team that I feel like is just going to be, they're out for the count. Like, I don't feel that's going to happen.
I think they were out for the count before these moves, actually.
I think so. Yeah, I think so too.
They carry this team by themselves.
Yeah, I don't think with the players they had on the team before, I don't think because I think it was just because they were so top heavy with KD, Durant, Draymond, and Clay. Like they didn't really have like a good depth, and obviously with Iggy too. But they brought in now a little bit more depth to the team. D'Lo, Draymond is. They brought youth to the team. Yeah.
That team was getting old.
Oh, they were.
That's why they kept going through all these injuries.
Exactly.
Old guys.
Exactly. And and the youth thing that they brought in, it's good talent. It's good talent. So I think people gotta cut it out with them saying they're not gonna make the playoffs, because I think for sure they're gonna make the playoffs. Clay is gonna come back at some point in the season because he only tore his Achilles, not his Achilles, he tore his ACL, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and people, you couldn't come back for that probably maybe February? Maybe he come back February, March.
Yeah, I think
potentially.
I think they said around All-Star break, so yeah.
Yeah.
But Achilles injuries for basketball players, not saying that, like, everyone just recovers from them, but did I say Achilles? I mean,
Yeah, you mean ACL, right? Yeah.
ACL injuries, like,
It's not like tearing your ACL back in the 90s and, like...
It's not a death sentence. It's not a death sentence.
It's not a death sentence like how it used to be before. Like, technology has...
And plus, Clay is not overly athletic like that. So
yeah.
He'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I personally, like, this is the most excited I've ever been to, like, watch Golden State basketball just for the D'Angelo Russell and Willie Cauley-Stein factor.
Yeah.
Because I actually like those two players a lot. I said it before and I actually wrote an article about it. I wanted the Nets to potentially give, Cauley-Stein a look prior to, everything that the Nets free agency brought about. Because Willie Cauley-Stein, he hasn't necessarily lived up to his draft hype. He was, very highly spoken about coming out of Kentucky. But there's still some pieces. He's a solid rebounder. He needs to work on his timing as far as being a rim protector, but he's still decent enough.
Yeah.
He's developing a mid-range jumper. The Kings didn't let him explore that part of his game as much as, he would have liked. They really liked him to pick and roll instead of pick and pop. But he can shoot it a little bit. And, I'm sure Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors will allow him to, shoot it and kind of expand his range. And he's very fast and very mobile for a big guy. So on pick and rolls, he'll be able to defend guards, defend forwards, defend power forwards. Because he's kind of like, even though he's tall with a huge wingspan, he's kind of like a tweener. He can kind of play both the 5 and the 4.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that. D'Angelo Russell, that's my guy. All right. I know there's a lot of people talking about how is he going to fit, blah, blah, blah. Stop it. All right.
Exactly.
He's a 3-point shooter. He shoots the 3-ball well. He has a mid-range game, which Golden State has been incorporating more and more to their scheme. Like last year, I think they were first in mid-range jump shots taken and made. And, Kevin Durant.
That's Kevin Durant.
Was a lot of that.
That's Kevin Durant.
So D'Lo will be able to do that too. And then you add yet another playmaker. Like, Kevin Durant can play make, but D'Angelo obviously is a better playmaker.
Yeah.
So now you add another playmaker to this, starting lineup. You're going to cause trouble. And they're probably going to have to add some, I know they do a lot of picks, even though a lot of the picks are like off-ball picks. But, throwing a little, pick and pop with D'Angelo and Draymond or Willie Cauley-Stein. And, Steve Kerr has a lot of different directions he can go with, the team that's kind of been assembled or is assembling around Stephen Clay, even though, again, Clay is out. But they have a solid team. But, again, just like the whole Drew Holiday thing, it'll be interesting to see what the Warriors do with Draymond.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of money to be, putting up.
And at his age, too.
A guy who, he's not a bad player, but not a bad player by any stretch of the imagination. He's a good defender, but, it kind of seems at times that he's starting to decline.
I think he was also out of shape at the beginning of the season. Yeah.
What you said?
I think he was out of shape at the beginning of the season, and I think as you saw as the season, towards the end of the season and playoffs, he started to get back into form. He looked out, I think he was out of shape. He just wasn't, he just wasn't playing that well at the beginning of the year. But he's old too. Draymond is getting up there in age. Because
he played all 4 years in college.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Also, sidebar, even though I don't think they did too much of free agency, not that I can remember. But Denver, Michael Porter Williams.
It's coming back.
Michael Porter Williams. Michael Porter Jr.
I just realized.
Yeah. Michael Porter Jr., he's back.
Yeah.
Are supposed to, even though he had a little setback, but he's supposed to be back this season. That's kind of like another Denver draft pick.
They got
Bobo was supposed to be there. I'm not sure if he'll play.
Yeah.
Or if they'll let him play this year or just sit him out like they did MPJ.
Yeah.
But if they let him play, like that Denver team is just another team that's just deep.
They're deep as yeah. They got Jeremy Grant as well from OKC.
Oh yeah, that helps that small forward position.
Yeah.
That they kind of needed help with.
Yeah, they're deep. They're deep.
Yeah, that's my second best team in the West after the Clippers. The Nuggets.
Okay. Yeah, no, they're a deep team. And I do see that. All right. Back just on the Golden State thing with D'Lo and Steph. The only thing I think with those two that you need to worry about is defense. Defense. That's the only thing I think that's gonna hurt them a little bit. But the scoring that they could do together is, and I think it's another guy in which Steph doesn't have, and Clay's not a ball handler. Like D'Lo is a guy who bring it up. You know, he'll get his dribbles, and he could create. But and that's not what Clay brings you. Obviously, Clay brings you the shooting that nobody can shoot like Clay can. But I think now Steph could kind of play a little bit even more off ball. I mean, he already does that with the way in the schemes that they're running, and you see that the picks and the way how he runs the court. But I think even more now you can have D'Lo come and bring the ball up instead of Draymond, because sometimes Draymond would initiate the offense for them even. So I think this is just another ball handler for them, in that case. Yeah, I think I'm excited. I'm excited about that Golden State team because, like you said, D'Lo's my guy too. Like he really became my guy this year. Like watching him play at Barclays, it was sad to see him go. I knew he was gonna have to go because of what happened in Brooklyn, but I'm actually excited to see him play and how he's gonna play around Steph. I mean I think that's just another great step for his career. That he's going to like a championship squad. Even though I don't think the one thing about Golden State, I don't think there's gonna be still championship. I don't think they're gonna be going to the finals this year. But at least he's around that atmosphere now. He can learn from guys from Draymond, Clay, Steph. I think that's good for him. Yeah. All right, so let's move to the East. I don't think there's any other West teams I really want to... Unless you have anything else to talk about the West. I mean, Dallas got Steph Curry. They re-signed Kristaps as we knew they were going to do.
I think Kristaps is the big thing. Like, we'll just finally see what that and the Luka pairing will be like.
Yeah, I think how Kristaps is going to come off, how he's going to look coming off this injury. If he looks bad, he's going to make the Knicks look like geniuses, and we'll talk about the Knicks later, but... I'm curious. I want to see how he's gonna play in Dallas. Phoenix, I just don't know. I don't know what Phoenix is like. I don't know what they got a point guard. They got Ricky Rubio. It was kind of a high price for Ricky Rubio, I think personally, but I mean they got a point guard in Rubio. I think that's about it for me in the West. You got anybody else or you?
We can go to the East.
Alright, so let's talk about Philly. So Philly, today they re-signed Ben Simmons. They brought in Al Horford. Obviously, they got in that signing trade with Miami. They sent Jimmy Butler to Miami, and they got Josh Richardson back. They re-signed Mike Scott. They re-signed Tobias Harris to that contract. And they got like role players like Nido from Utah, and they got Kyle Quinn from free agency as well. Philly's a deep team. I think a lot still hinges on Ben Simmons and his jump shot. Like good Lord, if I see Ben Simmons go out and not attempt mid-range shots, I don't know.
And then that's why I wouldn't I know he's gonna demand, like, his talent demands the max as is, or rather his build, like a 7-foot point guard. So that's going to demand the max.
Yeah.
but I would not have given him the max. Because he has it, like you say, he's afraid to take jump shots. Like, I would at least, I'm not sure if they did this, but I would have put stipulations in his contract. You got to attempt this many jump shots. You got to shoot at least this percentage from three. Like, something. Like, because I'm not about to give you the max and you're the same player you were when you came into the league.
Well,
that can't happen.
I agree with that. I don't think he's worth the max right now. I mean, based on the player he is and his potential, yes. But I think again, his potential down the line, and if he actually does develop that jump shot, I think obviously he'll be worth it.
It's one thing if like, because you already missed the first year because of injury.
Yeah.
The second year, there was no real improvement from college. The third year, there was no improvement from the second year. So, with all this being said, I mean, I know he's a good defender. Of course, he's going to be a good rebounder because he's 7 foot and athletic. He's a great passer. But we already knew all these things coming, like, when he was getting drafted.
Yeah.
So, at this point, like, you're basically paying for the same player you drafted. You're basically, like, a rookie getting the max.
Yeah.
So, we can talk about potential. Like, we've been talking about his potential since he got drafted. When is he going to start digging at his potential? When is he going to start living up to it, realizing it?
Yeah. Yeah, no. He has, like, this summer there's nothing more that he should do than develop that jump shot because, a lot hinges on that. And I think that just takes this team to the next level. What do you think about the Al Horford signing?
They signed one of the two guys who can clamp and beat in the league.
Yeah.
Really, it's Al Horford and Marc Gasol. Those are the two people who really give Joel Embiid fits, and they got one of them.
Yeah, it was one of those things like if you can't beat them, then sign them. Like,
I don't even think it was that. I mean, no, it wasn't that because Boston always beat up on Philly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it was just more Horford realizing the crap going on in Boston.
Boston, right? Yeah.
But I mean, it helped them get bigger because you basically swapping Jimmy Butler out for Al Horford. And then you don't give up the ability to stretch the floor. You can move Tobias Harris back down to the 3. Al Horford's a good defender, although he's not a rim protector. He's still a good defender. He can guard mobile fours, and he can switch on perimeter players for short periods of time. And who's the other guy? Josh Richardson.
Josh Richardson, yeah.
And Horford will create space for Embiid and Simmons to operate.
Yeah.
So this is a good pickup. Especially with Josh Richardson, who is another capable defender. Like, that's a great defensive starting 5. Outside Tobias Harris, who is average on defense. We expect him to be better, but he's average on defense. But, yeah, that's a good starting 5 as far as defense goes. Solid shooting. 3.5 of the players can shoot, because Embiid can shoot a little bit.
Yeah, but who's taking the clutch shot for that team right now? Jimmy Butler was that guy.
He was that guy.
Taking those clutch shots. Ben Simmons still can't shoot right now. Tobias Harris, I don't know. Like Tobias Harris, like, he played for his contract. But I don't know if he's still worth that amount of money they gave him.
No, and this is kind of the market you get into.
Yeah, it's the market. Yeah, it's what the market was going to.
I agree. Like, he's worth. Like, Tobias Harris is a good player.
Yeah.
I like him as a player. I don't think he's worth the max, but he's going to demand the max.
Yeah.
And I read an article today, where NBA executives, like, they get mad that they have to give players the max.
Yeah, I saw that.
For example, with Milwaukee, like, Milwaukee was hesitant to give Chris Middleton the max, but you don't give him the max, then you risk not having a second player who's like an all-star caliber player to pair with Giannis. And then on top of that, since Giannis and Chris Middleton are really tight, you risk losing Giannis.
Yeah, exactly. Because Giannis is going to be a free agent in, 2021? Or, yeah.
Next year.
No, not
2021.
Yeah, not next year.
But
Yeah.
they can re-sign him next year.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know who's taking that shot. Who's taking that?
It might. Listen, it's either Joel in the post or it might have to be Tobias.
But I'm not even talking about in the like who's gonna take that outside shot when you need that 3-point.
Just
you
do
need
it again. It might have to be Tobias.
I know Joel, but I still don't. I sometimes I cringe seeing Joel take 3-pointers. I know he could hit them, but like I'm like if you don't get your.
I mean, he still hits them like at a 30% or lower clip. So
Yeah. Since we speak about Milwaukee, we could talk about Milwaukee. I mean, they re-signed Chris Middleton. They signed Wesley Matthews, so they got a 3-and-D player.
That's a nice little signing.
That's a nice little sign, Wesley Matthews.
Underrated.
They re-signed Brook Lopez and George Hill. And they got.
They brought in Robin Lopez.
And they brought in Robin Lopez's brother, and they brought in Giannis. Giannis's brother as well. So they got a little duo of brothers there. Milwaukee, I mean, it's gonna be where Giannis takes them, to be honest. The big thing, they lost Mirotic. Mirotic is
that was a big one. Oh, also Brogdon.
And Brogdon, yes, and they lost Brogdon.
Yeah,
two big losses for them. Like, scoring for their team. Like Mirotic decided to go back to Europe and get his money there. Brogdon obviously got picked up by Indiana. This Bucks team is going to be where Giannis and I think Middleton take them, to be honest. I think they got a little worse because they lost Brogdon and Mirotic.
Yeah, they definitely took a step back.
They took a little bit of a step back because Brogdon,
Brogdon was really good.
He was really good. He was a consistent player. Wasn't he like one of those type of, what did they say, 40, 50, 90?
50,
40, 90 type of people? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
And even when, straight off injury, when he came back from the playoffs, he balled.
Yeah. I think that was a big loss for them.
He actually, I think, had a better series than Middleton.
Yeah.
So, and Brogdon can, he can run the offense. He can play point. He can defend solid. Like you said, he hit 3-pointers, hit free throws, shoots efficiently. And this goes back to being forced to give Middleton the max.
Yeah.
They have money to give out to Brogdon.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, then you go to the Pacers.
Yeah, that's what I said. You went to Pacers.
Yeah, let's talk about the Pacers because they've had a solid offseason.
All right, let's talk about the Pacers. Let's see, what did Indiana do?
First of all,
I think they're big.
Let's start here.
All right, go ahead.
Victor, even though I think he's still missing some of the season, but Victor Oladipo's back.
Yeah, he'll be back. That's a big pick.
That's the main thing.
That's the main thing, yeah.
they get their guy back.
Yeah.
And we just spoke about Brogdon and all the great stuff he does for that team.
I mean,
what he done for the Bucks.
Yeah. Besides Brogdon, that they really didn't do too much in free agency. They got T.J. Warren in a trade, I think, with Phoenix.
T.J. Warren's a good player.
All right.
That's another good pickup.
Well, they got Jeremy Lamb as well.
That's another solid pickup.
Solid player, solid pickups. I mean, it's solid pickups.
They drafted that dude, Goga.
Oh, yeah, Gogo, yeah. Yeah, they
he's a good... Aaron Holiday, that's my guy. He's going to have a good, bounce back season. I don't say bounce back because, rookie year, but he'll improve from his rookie year.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they got good pieces, but Indiana ain't going nowhere. I'm just gonna say that they're gonna be a top team because of coaching and whatnot. But
I think Indiana is a dark horse team. This is a nice, solid roster. I I think people forget or don't realize T.J. Warren was scoring 18 points a game efficiently back in Phoenix.
Okay, that's for a bad Phoenix team. Come on, like
Listen,
that's
shooting efficiently is shooting efficiently.
well, at least, all right. If he was shooting it, I don't watch Phoenix that much.
Brogdon just came off averaging 15 on great shooting.
No, Brogdon's a great son. He's a great pickup for them.
Yeah, he was a third option. Miles Turner, he's slowly coming together. Sabonis, same thing with him.
Yeah.
So it's a solid team.
It's a solid team.
Jeremy Lamb is finally getting his career together too.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a nice solid team that was put around Victor. So again, it's unlikely they'll get out the East, but it's a nice little dark horse team.
Yeah. I think they're gonna make things tough for the other teams. I think if they definitely had Oladipo, who were they facing in the first round? Boston, right? I think they would have gave Boston a little bit more, a little bit more run for their money. And speaking of Boston, so Boston, the big pickup obviously was Kemba Walker. They got Kemba Walker. I don't think they did too much after that, but I mean, I think their big pickup. Oh no, they got Enes Kanter. They got Enes Kanter as well. Yeah, they got Enes Kanter. I'm trying to think who else did they get.
I mean, they got some draft picks.
Yes, Romeo Langford.
They have an okay draft. They signed Taco. I'm not sure if he'll make the actual roster.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll make the roster. They got this kid Carson Edwards. Yeah. Yeah.
Romeo Langford.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he played in Summer League or not.
But, yeah.
He'll be good. Listen, I'm not as high on this team as a lot of people are. A lot of people still have Boston being a top 4, top 5 team. Or maybe top 5 isn't too bad. I don't know. As much as I like Kemba, and I know I'll be sounding like a Kemba hater sometimes. I don't think he's the guy. Jason Tatum has yet to take that step forward. Jaylen Brown, he's a good player, but he can only do so much. Gordon Hayward, and he finally realize who he used to be. Can he get back to that level? So, and then Marcus Smart, can he hit a three? And then the rest is a bunch of young guys, stuff like that. So we'll see. Maybe Brad Stevens can work better with less personalities in the locker room.
Yeah, I mean,
Kyrie is gone now. Rozier is gone now.
Yeah.
So maybe there's some peace in the locker room, and they can make something work.
Yeah. I think that's what it is bringing it back to when Kyrie and Gordon Hayward both were not playing. Bring back that team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals, and be deep. I think losing Al Horford for them is big. I think he was an anchor for them.
Horford. They probably lost their best defensive player now.
Yeah, Horford. Marcus Morris, I think, was really a good player for them too.
They lost him.
Losing him. But I mean, they got some good young guys. I'm really trying to think who the hell is going to be playing center for them, because I think they lost Aaron Baines too. I think they lost him too. So I'm really trying to. So I feel like they're going to be forced to sign Taco. Cause I'm trying to think who's their big man.
Even if Taco signs, he's not going to start.
But who's their big man? Let me look at their team.
They probably have some low caliber centers and power forwards on the roster. As far as starting caliber one, they're probably gonna have to do it by committee. A bunch of different guys just all gonna have to do the best with what they can. Yeah. Because I don't recall them signing any centers. Maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. Oh, I forgot Enes Kanter. That's.
Oh yeah.
I keep forgetting, but I said it too. Yeah, because I keep forgetting that they signed him. Kanter will probably. He might probably be the starter. I think Kanter's probably going to be the starter for them.
Yeah, ain't no probably.
Yeah, he is, because I can't. If I had to wrap my brain that bad to think about who's their center. Yeah,
I can't believe we keep forgetting about
I kept forgetting that they signed him. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not too sure about how Boston's going to be.
It'll be a playoff team.
Yeah, no, I'm not, no. I know they'll be a playoff team, but
Yeah,
I think I kind of agree on your. I think if they take it back, obviously to that level, they lost all these guys that, like in terms of Kyrie and Rozier, like all that noise now. I think now you have to hope Gordon Hayward is back to who Gordon Hayward used to be. You want to make sure you bring back that old Jaylen Brown, that old Jason Tatum that was playing in again in the Eastern Conference Finals. That caliber of level of team. I think that's your hope for them. But I mean, we just gotta see if that's actually gonna happen. All right, let's go to Miami. Let's see what Miami.
Oh, the first thing that comes to mind is
Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler goes to Miami.
Oh, Tyler Hero too. Yeah.
Tyler. Well, yeah, they signed Tyler Hero.
Undrafted, yeah.
KZ Okpala. They signed him too, and then they got Myers Leonard from Portland.
That's my boy.
That's
Myers.
yeah, yeah, which is a decent pickup. Jimmy leaving. Jimmy was Philly, son, and I know Stephen A says this too. But Jimmy Butler, I liked him in Philly. I feel like he had that grind for Philly. He had that temperament for a city like Philly.
Yeah, but he won his own team.
He won his own team. I think he lies in what Pat Riley does. Like he feels like Pat Riley is like one of those old school guys who doesn't take it easy on people, and Jimmy Butler is that same way. So I think he likes that and he respects that from Pat Riley. So I think that's why Miami was destination. That's why he found anything to get his ass out of Philly. Like he wasn't he did not want to stay there.
I mean this Miami team, even though they've been like on the edge of making the missing playoffs for the last couple of years, like they have some good veteran players. You know, Goran Dragic is still there.
Yeah.
Kelly Olynyk, James Johnson, that's my boy.
Yeah.
Getting Jimmy gives them the star to kind of push them over the edge and finally make an 8 or 7 seed. They have solid role players around them, I guess. I feel the same way I feel about Boston. Like, it's an okay team. I really am excited to see Tyler Hero because he lit up Summer League.
Yeah.
Like, he did really well. But
yeah.
Jimmy can use Dwayne Wade as a mentor.
Yeah.
Jimmy can kind of mentor the other players.
Yeah, I mean they probably gonna be looking again, fighting for a playoff spot. Does Jimmy get you over that edge? Probably. They'd probably be like something like an 8, 7 seed at best, I think.
I think that at best you'll get a 6 seed. But yeah, 6, 7, 8, yeah.
Yeah, I mean we'll do seedings later on, as we go on.
Oh yeah,
as we go in, as we start getting into some more of the season, or I mean closer to the season, yeah. Let's move on. What's another East team before we gonna save obviously Brooklyn and the Knicks for last. What did Toronto do? Lose players, yeah. I don't even want yeah.
I know a lot of people think the Raptors are still making the playoffs. I'm not sold. I'm not.
I'm not sure. I'm not.
I mean, my guy OG comes back.
Yeah.
But I they don't have a star player. I mean, Siakam is probably ascending to that kind of level, but he's not there yet. Or at least we haven't seen him quite there yet. Kyle Lowry is a burger with a championship ring. And, you know, Marc Gasol aging, Serge Ibaka aging.
I think they made the playoffs, but they're definitely gonna be a low seed this time. They probably still.
And if they make it, they're 7 for 8.
7, yeah. They're low.
And you know what? I already know this is gonna blow up in my face, and they're gonna end up making the playoffs to be a top 5 seed or something like this. But yo, I'm going out on the limb. They're not making the playoffs unless they change something with their roster. They're not making the playoffs.
Really, you keeping that? They're not gonna make the playoffs?
Yeah, they made the champion. Yo, somebody figure out how many champions don't make the playoffs next year. I think actually Miami when LeBron left.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'd have to fact check, but I think Miami. But yeah, I would like next episode if I remember. I'm gonna bring out a list of teams who win it all, and then the next year are in the lottery. I think Toronto will be one move.
I think it's very possible. They lost their best player, Kawhi. Like you said, Kyle Lowry is a burger with a championship. And their team, their like star power players on their team are getting older.
I think it's a solid roster.
Yeah.
If you have a guy, and I don't think Siakam could be that guy yet. I don't think so. Like again, he's ascending to toward that level, but I think he's gonna realize really quickly it's totally different being the guy when all defense is planned for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not impressed with the Raptors, unless there was some signing I don't remember or didn't notice.
I really didn't hear anything. I think they just lost. They lost their players. Like they lost their 2 big players in Kawhi and Danny Green. But even yeah, I don't think.
I think the only thing I think they got was Stanley Johnson.
Yeah, they did get Stanley Johnson. Yes, they did get Stanley.
And I mean, he hasn't lived up to anything, but I do like Stanley Johnson. But he's not gonna be the guy to put you over the edge.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about. Hold on. Let's talk about my New York Knicks.
Oh yes, it's time.
Let's get to there. We'll say Brooklyn to be the last. Look. All right, let me start this off since I'm the resident Knicks fan. So we struck out obviously on everything. Struck out on KD, struck out on Kyrie. Didn't offer KD the max on typical Knicks fashion. Like you're gonna get.
Allegedly. Y'all didn't even get a chance to offer him nothing. I gotta stop saying that. Nobody even got a chance to offer him nothing.
What are you talking about? I saw those reports. What reports you saw?
How can you offer him the max and you ain't get a meeting with him?
Wait, whoa. You sure they didn't have a meeting with him?
KD didn't meet with anyone.
Well, yeah, that is true. Oh, well, they could have been talking to his reps. I don't know.
So there was what they call this?
What?
Not collaboration. Damn, what's it? I can't remember the word for it.
Arbitration? What the hell you want to talk? What are you talking about?
No. Damn. Why can't I remember this word? Because Commissioner Silver's pissed off about it. Where players talk to teams and stuff like that when they're not supposed to.
What's
the word?
Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say the moratorium period, but that's not it.
Damn. I don't remember the word.
Yeah, if you remember, remind me. Anyway, bottom line is.
But maybe they did offer him, but I know he signed pretty much immediately to Brooklyn.
Well, yeah.
Or agreed that he would say he would go to Brooklyn.
All right. Anyway, we obviously missed out on our player on everything. I'll say this: this is the smartest I've ever seen the Knicks be in offering these 2-year contracts and that have options, team options. Like this is the smartest I've ever seen. The Knicks before I've seen us go out and sign people to the max, and then we have our money strung up for the rest of the when we come up to another free agency. So this is the smartest I've seen them. This is also the deepest I've ever seen. I feel that I've seen the Knicks team deepest, and I feel like sort of young that I've seen the Knicks team. So the biggest contract that they offered obviously was for Julius Randle. I think that was 3 years, $69 million or 70 something million, something like that.
63, I think.
60, yes, yeah, somewhere around that number. Everybody else basically got 2-year deals with team options. They picked up Elfrid Payton, Wayne Ellington, Bobby Portis, Taj Gibson, Reggie Bullock, Marcus Morris, who I actually did want him to sign. I thought that was a decent signing. They got him. He was supposed to be going to the Spurs. Well, I actually heard this today. He was supposed to be going to the Clippers. Something happened there with that. Because his agent was Rich Paul, and he left Rich Paul. Cause I think the Clippers were going to get him for 2 years, $40 million, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened there that didn't go through, or I think they were waiting for like a better deal or something. Then it said that he was signing with the Spurs for 2 years.
Hold that thought. I just remember the word tampering. There we go.
Oh, tampering. Oh, that's what you were talking about. All right.
Yeah. Go ahead, continue.
He went to the Spurs. They announced he was signing with the Spurs for 2 years, $20 million, and then I think like maybe about a week ago, I saw things saying that he was actually he reneged on that deal, and now yesterday he signed with the Knicks for 1 year at $50 million. Obviously the Knicks they got R.J. Barrett, they got that kid Ignas Brazingis, or they call him Iggy now. He's been good in summer league. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. The Knicks kind of went like Ford crazy in a way in their signings, but honestly, I think this is the deepest I've ever seen the Knicks team what they could be. Granted, I feel. I don't know. I have to see. I don't know. I don't know how all these pieces are gonna fit. These are actually not bad pieces. I feel. Obviously, it's not no KD. It's not no Kyrie. But like, I just gotta see how all these pieces are gonna fit. We still got Dennis Smith Jr. We have Mitch Robinson. We have Alonzo Trier, Kevin Knox. Still have those young players there. I gotta see. There's either gonna be a good upside to this, and the Knicks are fighting for a playoff spot, or like they're like a Miami team where they're like on the fringe of something, or this is gonna be just another terrible season, and I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. You can go ahead. You can go ahead and laugh now. You can go ahead and laugh.
So, let me start by saying all these Knicks fans who are telling me, "Oh, my sources told me Durant is coming for sure."
Oh, he was coming.
Oh, my sources.
He was coming.
Told me. Did he come?
He was coming. The Knicks became stupid again.
He didn't come.
Yeah, well,
so you don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, my sources told me the Six is in. We're getting the number one pick in the draft. Even though I honestly think this worked out in your favor.
Yeah.
But regardless, typical in Knicks fan fashion, promising a bunch of crap that did not come true. Typical Knicks fan fashion. Alright? But, down to the nitty gritty of it all, the Knicks did have a solid off season. Mitchell Robinson is still there, and if anyone knows me, they know my gripe was.
Oh my God! You go back
in a Knicks jersey.
Yeah, well, it happened.
Damian Dotson and Kadeem Allen is still there. Bobby Portis is a really good power forward.
He is.
So, Taj Gibson. That's actually, I'm pretty sure he's from Brooklyn. Again, I wanted Brooklyn to go get him, just for the mentorship and, toughness and stuff like that. Dennis Smith Jr. will have his, first legitimate chance at being, the real point guard for the team.
Yeah.
Last year they kind of tried to keep him out to keep the winning down. So he'll actually, get to do what he does. R.J. Barrett, we've seen him come around toward the end of the summer league.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already know how high I am on R.J. Barrett. I feel like he should have been the number one pick in the draft, but that goes without saying. I'm actually higher on Kevin Knox than a lot of people are. I know a lot of people are really low on Kevin Knox.
Yeah, I'm high on him. He has a lot of upside.
I liked him coming off the draft. I just think he was put in a rough situation as a rookie. And even toward the end of the season, he kind of started figuring it out. That's going to be tough with him and RJ, too, because they're both, people who would like to shoot a lot.
Yeah.
But they aren't the greatest as far as efficiency goes. And that's another thing with Devin Smith Jr. He hasn't shown to be a great three-point shooter just yet. So, and then, speaking of which, that brings in Julius Randle, who, again, as a dog, I like him as a player. I just didn't want I don't like small power forward. I mean, he's not small. He's very strong, very, mobile, athletic. Again, I like him as a player, but I like my teams big.
He's like 6'9", right?
Yeah, 6'8", 6'9".
6'9", yeah.
I prefer my power forwards be in there, even though I'm going to have a bunch of small forwards that basically play power forward for the Nets. But, even Iggy, as you said, I don't know why Frank is still here. I don't know why I still have Frank. Lonzo Trier. I actually like Alfred Payton. I like Alfred Payton a lot. That's baby Rondo. I've always liked him. I wish he never cut his hair, though. But you have a solid collection of talent. This would be a good team that you would put around, a KD or a star. And this would be a great team to have around a star. But, it's a solid collection of talent.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be nearly as bad as a lot of people have them.
No.
I'm not quite sure if it's a playoff team. I'm not sure. I guess I got to see how Fizdale can finally show that he's a good coach.
And that's what I think it's going to come down to. I think this is going to come down to how you coach these guys. These are all good role players in their own direct. You would want them on a contending squad, all these guys. And then you have your younger guys obviously coming up and being developed. I think that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to good coaching. This is a nice, deep, young team that I cannot say the Knicks have had in a long time. It's just gonna come down to see how Fizdale coaches them and then how they're gonna perform and how they're gonna execute these things. They're still gonna have their dumb plays and dumb stuff, but I don't think not as nearly as much. People are down on them and laughing at the Knicks, obviously because we missed out and everybody thought, this.
I think that's the main thing. I think it's because of everything the Knicks hyped them up. The whole Knicks and their fans hyped them up to do this offseason and what they ended up having to settle for. And again, it wasn't a god awful all season. It wasn't a bad off season. It was a solid off season.
But I think also the main thing is that you traded away Kristaps for this. So, if you're gonna do that,
I mean, there was rumors that Durant wanted to play with Kristaps.
Yeah. So
if that's but that was a tough situation. So I don't really hold that against the Knicks. It's a lot of stuff that came out about Kristaps shortly after. So.
It's stuff that they could have planned too. It's stuff that don't forget. This guy Dolan owns the Daily News and all that.
Yeah, I mean.
So
but
how
just because he owns it doesn't mean they're just gonna put out false crap. So.
Are you? Come on, Rod. Come on. You know.
Have proof to it.
Some of it did, but come on, you know sometimes that could happen. Dolan's that petty to do that, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Listen, I don't think Dolan's that petty to get sued, and lose millions upon millions.
Yeah. Well.
So again, I like a lot of moves the Knicks made for what they were left to do.
Yeah, it wasn't stupid. Not like how it used to be. All right. Well, let's wrap this up and talk about the Brooklyn Nets. I'll let you take this away.
The who?
The Brooklyn Nets.
Oh,
This
the
thing.
Nets, the we old Nets. All right, so boom. Within like an hour into free agency, got Kyrie, got Kevin Durant, got DeAndre Jordan. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Before free agency even hit, we traded away Alan Crabb in that disgusting contract. And again, Alan Crabb, I know he had a DUI. You know, you had a little rough patch. I know you probably felt hurt that you got traded. Listen, even though you struggled the last year and you was out a lot, I appreciated your time in Brooklyn, but I did not appreciate that contract. So, listen, I hope you do well in Atlanta. Actually, you know, you kind of look like you belong on a Hawks team.
What does that mean?
Like,
what does that mean?
I say like he's like a loser or anything. I'm not trying to say that.
Oh, they're
not
not losers, trust me.
Looks like he would be a Hawks player.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's to hear honestly. But like, I hope you find success. Hope you get out that rough patch. But yeah, my gripe with you with your contract that what was gonna happen when you opted into that. You know that you knew the end game. You knew what we was trying to do this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we traded him, we got back Taurean Prince.
Yeah.
Better version of DeMar Carroll. Younger, probably slightly better defender. Not as good of a rebounder, but a better shooter. Like, easily a better shooter.
Yeah.
So, you got, some depth pieces and Garrett Temple and Wilson Chandler. Garrett Temple can kind of play the 1, 2, and 3. Wilson Chandler can play the 2, 3, 4. Probably preferably 3 and 4 because he's an older guy now. And I think, honestly, out of all the small forwards who will probably play power forward this year, he'll probably do the best, like, handling himself.
Mm-hmm.
Theo Pinson is back. Love him. At UNC all day. Great energy. He's basically the heart and soul of that little dance bench mob group that gets trending on Twitter.
I'm actually glad they brought him back because now he could keep that same energy and keep that same energy with the guys.
Exactly.
Because that's what a lot of people were saying, that they brought in all these guys, but now they're not gonna be the same Nets team that had that same type of energy.
And I get that, but there's like I always said, there's still a lot of Jared Allen still here, Joe Harris still here, Karis LeVert, Karuk, Musa, Dinwiddie.
Yeah.
We already said Pinson. Like, a lot of those guys are still here.
Yeah.
So, and then even then, we can, like, on the two-way contracts, have other players and stuff like that. But, Nicholas Claxton, he'll probably play power forward center.
Yeah.
He used to be point guard, so, he has some mobility, has some skills.
Oh, that's good.
His three-pointer is probably still going to be a work in progress, but he has a decent shot, let me say an okay-ish shot. He still has to work on it. But, Kenny Atkinson, normally players who play under him have career years from three. Like, it almost always happens. Like, Karooks, he looked really good in Summer League, minus, like, the last game. But he really seemed like he was calm, like, under control. Musa seemed to kind of figure it out toward the end. We still brought, like, LeVert's still here, probably resigning based. This is LeVert's year to really prove that he is what we all think.
Yeah, because he was coming on before he got that injury last year, so.
Yeah.
Which actually freed up. It freed up D'Lo, because I think he was going to be the All-Star, but it freed up D'Lo to have the All-Star season that he had. To be honest, everything worked out for the Nets last season.
Yeah. So and then Jared Allen, listen, I have a conspiracy theory about him as far as him playing in Summer League, but the last couple games he really balled out. Really looked aggressive. Those last couple games was seen Jared Allen so far.
What's your theory about him playing in Summer League? Because I heard people saying that why is he playing in Summer League, but I don't see the problem with it. But go ahead.
Should I say? I mean, there's an article I have that's probably dropped about it. So.
Oh, okay, then all right.
So yeah, I'll probably link that so y'all can read it. But I have it there. Remember, just like I say in the article, it's a theory. So I don't know for sure. I'm not,
The hell did
I'm
you
not
write?
guaranteeing anything. I'm not saying that's an inside scoop.
The hell
It's just my theory.
What did they have photos on him or something? Like, what the hell did you write?
You'll see. You'll see. But
I'm dead.
I think the Nets, of course, has a nice off season. The power forward position, like I would have loved for it to be addressed, but lo and behold, it hasn't really. If anything, I think Nicholas Claxton will play it. Karooks will definitely play it. Wilson Chandler will probably spend some time at the 4.
Well, you got.
I hope I don't see Prince at the 4. I don't think he's big enough for the 4.
Well,
I think the height wise, he has the height, but I don't think he has enough weight on him.
Well, I think the thing is that you got to think that obviously KD's not going to play this season, so he's obviously going to be playing at that position most likely when he's back. Probably
Go ahead.
Probably what's going to happen. I'm trying to envision their starting lineup. It's going to be Kyrie, LeVert, and this is without KD right now. It's going to be Kyrie, LeVert, probably maybe Joe Harris, maybe. I feel like they're going to start Jared Allen, or either it's going to be DeAndre Jordan. Are they going to start them together, or
no? They won't start them together.
I think that'd be a little bit too much because that's bringing down your shooting. That's going to bring down your shooting. So
I mean, Karooks will probably start at the 4.
That's possible, and he brings shooting to the table. So, but yeah, that's without KD right now. But I think when KD's back, I think he's going to be playing at that power forward position. So I think
definitely, I agree. He'll probably be the power forward, and it's probably best that he be power forward coming off that injury. There'll be less, of him having to move around on the perimeter too much. It's easier to guard forwards as far as movement.
Yeah.
So, but I still would have liked us to have at least one legitimate power forward on the team.
Yeah.
And again, it'll probably be Claxton, especially once he develops that jumper. So he'll probably play some of the 4. But yeah, it'll probably be Karooks, Claxton if he gets time, or Wilson Chandler. Again, I really don't want to see Prince at the 4. He's very small. I think Karooks will be able to hold himself decently. He did a solid job last year, and I think Wilson Chandler, a veteran, and a little stronger, I think he'll be fine. But this year is there's 2 things we're watching this year. I had 3 things. 3 things we're watching this year. The development of Jared Allen, see if he's really going to finally take that step and show that he deserves to start.
He was dogging in Summer League, but that's Summer League.
Number 2, the development of Karis LeVert, and if he can prove he can be a second or third option or an all-star. And then 3, Kyrie and how he handles himself.
Yeah.
After all the, talks about him. Those are the 3 things to watch this season. But, nobody's expecting a championship this season. If it happens...
Yeah, it's not happening.
I'll be shocked, but I'll be happy. But, that's not the expectation.
It's not happening. It's not happening. Not this season.
Next season when Durant comes back. And even the Nets haven't ruled Durant out for this season.
No, I think if they make probably maybe second round, maybe even first round of the playoffs, it could be possible, but probably second round if they make it. Which is possible, which is very possible. They could move on to the second round, but I think
with the medical staff that we have and stuff I've heard and things like that, it's possible he could come back, slightly early from the playoffs. Maybe they insert him slowly so he can get the continuity of everything, play with the teammates, get the feel. And who knows? I don't know. I trust Kenny and Sean Marks to do whatever it is they're going to do as far as KD is concerned. Now, the next year, that's when, things really get interesting as far as what can the Brooklyn Nets do.
Yeah.
I do think that Kyrie will prove me and all my past criticisms wrong.
Oh, he's going to ball.
I do.
He's going to ball.
I do think because of, a different situation, he will play some of his best basketball ever in Brooklyn.
And you know why that is? Because this is actually where he wanted to be. This is his first
that's
time.
One of the reasons why I brought up. Yeah.
This is the first time that he got to choose where he wanted to be. He got drafted to Cleveland. He didn't want to be there. What? I'm not saying he didn't want to be there. He got drafted there, and then LeBron came along and stole the whole show. He came back and stole the whole show.
Yeah.
Got traded to Boston. Things did not work out in Boston. He had injury time. Now he's in Brooklyn. He's back home. Time for him to ball out. I don't think he's going to be that same type of Kyrie. I think he's going to be focused. He knows this year he has a lot to prove because the spotlight's going to be on him because KD is obviously out. And I just think, like you said, with Kenny Atkinson, with Sean Marks, they're gonna be able to, I think, flip something in him. The way how they run this team is so, it's a well-oiled machine. Nobody had the Nets having KD and Kyrie from that trade that they made years ago to get Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett. That disgusting ass trade that they made. Nobody could have told you that the Nets would have came out. They would have made the playoffs last year. Have an all-star. All of that set them up for this offseason to have the offseason that they had. It's great. And I can't wait to be at Nets games and actually watching them and see how they play.
Let me also say this. As much as I appreciate Sean Marks and everything he's done,
oh, God.
We dodged the bullet, Sean. Because back when you gave Allen Crabbe that contract that you eventually traded for, you sent out contracts to two other players, Otto Porter and Tyler Johnson.
Oh, you mean with
dodged bullets?
Oh, yeah. Well, he dodged bullets. Well, I think the man is smart, so I think he knew what he was doing. I felt it's kind of that what did they used to call it? Those poison pill contracts.
Yeah, poison pill contracts.
The man was smart. I think he knew what he was doing in that.
Let Miami and Washington have been smart and be like, nah, we're not matching that. They not no $20 million caliber players. This whole offseason dead. Just off that.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Sunday, the Nets signed David Nwaba.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Oh, and what about Jalen Hands?
He'll probably he had a rough summer league, but he'll probably spend his time in the G League.
Is he the one who got dropped in that, was it him that got dropped?
We don't talk about that.
Who got dropped? Who the hell?
It was Jalen Hands, yeah.
It was Jalen Hands? Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Yeah. I don't remember what that dude was, but my son got dropped. Yeah, he had a rough time. He probably gonna spend a little time in the G League.
Ain't no little time. The roster says we got 15 guaranteed contracts. He got no choice but to spend time in the G League.
Yeah.
Musa may come up and back and forth like he did last year, but outside of that. And maybe Pinson, too. Maybe Pinson, Theo Pinson, he'll be back and forth. I'm really excited to see him in Brooklyn again. But maybe he'll spend some time going back and forth, but yeah.
I'm glad he came back.
I also think, based off what I was watching in the Summer League, that Kenny is probably going to, because we only have 2 point guards on the roster, which is Kyrie and
Dinwiddie.
No, I think Kenny's gonna, because Kenny has been. I think Kenny's gonna allow for more like handling of the offense for other players. So like, and Karis LeVert has played some point guard like with the Nets, but
he's capable.
like LeVert will run the offense a little bit. Musa will. Karooks will. Pinson, if he gets on the floor, he will. I think Garrett Temple, because again, he's played some point guard in his career, so I think he will.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just really psyched. Like, just not for the Nets. Like, of course, I'm psyched for the Nets, but just like in general for the NBA, yeah, I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. This season, like, it's even. Like, I can't necessarily tell you who's gonna win. Like, you know, with the season going in with Golden State, we're like, oh, you know, Golden State, they're gonna be in the finals. I can't necessarily tell you who's gonna be in the finals this year. Like, I feel that way. Like, I'm leaning towards that, but this is gonna be an interesting season. Like, there's so many teams that, like, you know, that are just good. You know, that are just good, and they have these duos of players on them. Like, so yeah, it's gonna be so interesting to see what's gonna happen next year.
Sure. Alright, so you want to wrap it up here?
Yeah, wait, why is it saying the Nets still have Rondae Hollis-Jefferson? Didn't he go to...
No, yeah, he's in Toronto. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yo, matter of fact, yeah, RHJ in Toronto, that's a playoff team. That's lefty Kawhi Leonard.
Get the fuck out. No,
Lefty Kawhi Leonard. Raptors in four.
Rondae, yo, he got me tight sometimes when I was watching him play. I'm like, yo, sometimes he would make some bonehead plays, but then he would do some good stuff.
Hey, yo, it's the Reggie Evans effect.
Oh my God.
Like, yo, I'm not sure if Reggie Evans. I liked him as a Net, but like he would get offensive boards.
Yeah.
And he would be hype.
Yeah.
And then he would just throw them shit under the rim.
Yes.
And he would just get so tight.
And that's what Rondae used to do too. Like, oh my God. Yeah. That's weird. They still have him listed on the Nets roster, which I'm trying to figure out. Cause I'm like, yeah, didn't he go
probably
to?
Not official yet.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's still not official. Oh yeah, I saw that. Then they said the Nets picked up Henry Ellison. I saw that today.
Oh, for the G League.
Yeah, definitely for the G League team. Yeah. All right, well, yeah, let's wrap it up here. It could be like an hour. Did about an hour and 30 in.
Yeah, that's why. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, I mean, there was just so much to talk about too. But yeah, again, thank y'all for listening. You know, shout out to everybody who's tuning in. You know, we gonna have, you know, the NFL season is soon gonna come into gear. We start talking about the NFL a little bit more. And then whatever more else is coming up in the NBA. Any shout outs for you, Ra?
Shout out Q, Nothing But Nets. Shout out Empire Sports Media. I write for Nothing But Nets and Empire Sports Media now. Just, you know, if you see my articles, I appreciate any likes, shares, comments, you know, critiques, you know, anything. Just, you know, definitely hit me up. People talk to me all the time about, you know, what they think, what I can do better, all that stuff. Always appreciate it. If you see my articles on, you know, obviously it'll be on, you know, the Empire Sports Media page and also the Nets page. But if you ever see my article on like Bleacher Report or The Score, please feel free to let me know. I always get excited about stuff like that. I already said shout out Q. Shout out Hood Take. Shout out T. You know, T and Hood Take. Supposed to be having an episode with him once he gets everything, you know, figured out as far as location. Shout out Rain. Shout out Rain and the Unpopular Opinions podcast. You know, they have great content. You can always go check them out. You can follow their IG page, all that stuff. So, you know, again, we always appreciate you guys listening. Always appreciate you guys, you know, dropping your comments, sharing the content. Please never feel, you know, discouraged to approach us or, you know, let us know how you're feeling. Let us know what we can do better. We really really appreciate your patience with us. I know we aren't as consistent as other media platforms, and we're really trying to get better at that. Bear with us. We all have our personal lives, work, and stuff like that. And on top of that, I write 1,000,001 articles. So it's really hard to find time all the time. But, this is something we love doing. We love sharing our thoughts and ideas with you. So, again, we appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Follow us on the YouTube, Something Like Ballers. Follow us on IG at Something Like Ballers Pod. We have a Facebook page, Something Like Ballers, right, Raw? We also have a Twitter. Do we have a Twitter?
We do have. I'm not going to lie. I made a Twitter a little bit ago. I haven't done anything with Twitter.
That's fine.
I've done it with Twitter. I haven't even really promoted the Twitter. I just made a Twitter. When I'm on Twitter, I'm too busy, doing all this stuff, sharing my articles and stuff like that, as well as doing the Empire Sports Media.
Yeah, well, shout out your Twitter then. Shout out your Twitter.
My Twitter, Rashanye Best, RASHANYEBEST. Just follow me. If you do follow me, you'll be able to follow the Empire Sports Media page, because I retweet a lot of their stuff. Or at least the Brooklyn page, because I have the Nets Nation site. Again, thank you. Derek, you don't got Twitter, right?
Nah, bro.
I don't think the rest of them got Twitters.
Nah.
But, also, T-Swole has a music video dropping for 100 Bands.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's coming soon.
So,
we'll
you can find it on The Dope mixtape, if you want. Not if you want. We'll probably share the link again so you can listen to it. But specifically, the 100 Band singles, he will be having the music video for that dropping soon.
The song's already on Spotify, so check that out. 100 Bands, T-Swole, T-SWWOLE. Check him out on Spotify. And follow him on IG and all the other stuff.
Also, almost forgot. Ryan, a.k.a. Da Vinci, he has his own album dropping, I believe. He makes beats.
Beats, yep.
So, if you're interested in any, beats to rap on and stuff like that, search up Da Vinci on, what they call that damn site again? SoundCloud, there you go.
SoundCloud. Yeah. Alright, shout them out. Alright, guys. Thank y'all for listening again, and peace.